My name is Elena. I'm 42 years old now. When I was younger, people called me stunning. Long flowing hair, a graceful figure, bright eyes that turned heads everywhere, on the street, at parties, even at the office. I felt like beauty gave me power. At 23, I married the man everyone envied, Victor. Tall, charming, successful. We looked like the perfect couple in photos. But behind closed doors, the fairy tale faded fast. After the wedding, Victor's words turned sharp. He criticized my meals, too much salt again, my outfits, you could try harder, my changing body, you're letting yourself go. I wasn't overweight, but I started strict diets anyway, spending hours at the gym, buying expensive creams and clothes, anything to hear, you look beautiful. Instead of silence or disapproval, it was never enough. I chased his approval like it was oxygen. When I was 31, I got pregnant. My heart soared. Finally, a family would bring us closer. I imagined Victor holding our baby, loving me more. But as my body changed, so did he. He stopped holding me, stopped looking at me with desire. "You're not the same anymore," he said coldly one night. The words cut deep. After our daughter Lila was born, I barely slept, barely ate, desperate to bounce back quickly. Exhaustion became my normal. Then one evening, I came home early and found Victor with someone else, younger, polished, everything I was trying so hard to be. I stood frozen in the doorway. Tears burned my eyes as I whispered, "Why? I gave you everything. I changed everything about myself for you." He looked at me without remorse and said, "You became predictable, Elena. You lost your spark. Beauty fades and now there's nothing left." He walked out, leaving me alone with our tiny daughter and a shattered heart. Depression wrapped around me like a heavy blanket. Lila was my only light. I stopped looking in mirrors. I stopped caring about makeup or fashion. Life became survival. Work, feed Lila, sleep, repeat. No energy for anything else. Years went by. When Lila was 6, she woke up burning with fever one winter night. I wrapped her in a blanket and rushed to the emergency room, heart pounding with fear. The doctor on duty examined her gently. He was calm, kind, around 41, with warm eyes and a steady voice. "It's a high fever, but she'll be fine with rest and medicine," he said. Relief flooded me, and I started crying right there. He handed me a tissue and said softly, "You're an incredible mother. You brought her here in the middle of the night without hesitation. That kind of love is rare." I managed a shaky, "Thank you, doctor." He smiled. "Please call me Nathan." Lila recovered, but a couple of weeks later, she had another scare. Nothing serious, just a tummy upset from too many sweets. Back to the same doctor. Nathan greeted us with a gentle laugh. "Back so soon? Let me guess. The famous Cookie Monster struck again?" Lila giggled, and for the first time in years, I felt a real smile tug at my lips. It felt foreign, but good. Over the next few visits, Nathan started chatting more. One day, as he handed Lila a sticker, he turned to me. "Elena, would you like to grab coffee sometime?" "Not here, just a quiet place, no hospital smells." My heart raced with excitement and terror. "I don't think so," I said quickly. "Look at me. I'm older now, tired, not beautiful anymore. I have a child. You deserve someone better." He looked straight into my eyes, no pity, just honesty. "Elena, when I look at you, I see strength. I see a woman who runs through the night for her daughter. I see kindness, resilience, a heart that loves deeply. That's what draws me to you. Not a perfect face, but a real soul." I didn't believe him at first, but something in his voice felt safe. I said yes to coffee. I was so nervous I spent hours getting ready. Best dress, makeup, hairstyled perfectly. At the cafe, Nathan looked at me gently and said, "You look lovely, but this feels like a mask." The real Elena is the one who shows up, exhausted at 2 a.m. with messy hair and worried eyes, still putting her child first. That version is breathtaking. Tears came without warning. No one had ever said anything like that. We talked for hours. I told him everything, the criticism, the betrayal, the years of feeling invisible. He listened without interrupting. Then he shared his own story. I was married once too. My ex-wife was stunning on the outside, always perfect. But inside, she was distant. She cared more about appearances than connection. I felt lonelier with her than when I was alone. That's when I promised myself, next time, I want real. Someone who feels, who laughs loudly, who cries honestly. Someone like you. We dated slowly. Nathan met Lila, played with her, read her stories. She adored him. One evening, Lila looked up at me and asked, "Mommy, do you love Nathan?" I whispered, "Yes, sweetheart." She smiled. "Does he love you back?" "I think he does." "Then why isn't he here every day?" Out of the mouths of children. That night, I asked him the same. Nathan took my hands. "I'm waiting for you to truly believe you deserve this love." "Elena, you still doubt it sometimes. You still think I'll wake up one day and leave. I won't. I see you, all of you, and I choose you every day." It took time, but his consistent kindness helped me heal. He proposed on a simple park bench, no grand gestures, just us. "Marry me, Elena. Let me love you exactly as you are." I said yes with happy tears. We had a small, joyful wedding. My mother came, looked at me glowing, and said, "You look different." "Peaceful," I replied. "I am, Mom. Nathan doesn't love a perfect version of me. He loves the real one." Victor loved the surface. When it changed, he left. Nathan loves my heart. Hearts don't age the way beauty does. That was 4 years ago. Today, I have silver strands in my hair, laugh lines around my eyes, and a softer body from years of living fully. I'm no longer stunning by society's standards, but every morning Nathan looks at me like I'm his whole world. Last week I asked playfully, "Do you ever miss how I used to look?" He pulled me close and said, "No, pretty is common. What you give me is peace, laughter, comfort, deep connection. That's priceless." I've learned something powerful. The right person doesn't want perfection. They want authenticity. When you stop hiding your flaws, your tiredness, your real emotions, the wrong people leave and the right one stays. I spent years exhausting myself to be enough. When I finally stopped pretending, I found everything I'd been searching for. Real love, real family, real peace. So if you're reading this and feel like you're not enough, stop chasing perfect. Be honest. Be tired when you're tired. Be joyful when you're joyful. The person meant for you will see your soul and think, it's the most beautiful thing they've ever known. Thank you for listening to my story. If it moved you, please like. Leave a comment with what touched your heart. Share it with someone who needs encouragement. And subscribe to Emma English Stories for more inspiring, emotional tales to practice your English listening. You are worthy of real love, exactly as you are. Sweet dreams, and remember, your heart is your greatest beauty.